from flying splinters. The biomechanics that allow these hard-hitting birds to safely drill and drum are remarkably complex. But the payoff, quite simple. Excavating a hole to build a nest keeps the offspring safe. Whether it's hatchlings in a nest or pups in a burrow, in the natural world, these places are often a target. Sometimes by very formidable predators. But at the moment of impact, even small prey, armed with secret powers, are willing to face off against a dangerous enemy. Just a flick of the tail and the sound of the rattle are usually enough to provoke fear among most of us. The moment is primal. An encounter with one of nature's most efficient and specialized predators, rattlesnakes. Forked tongue, highly venomous, deadly. In the heat of the late afternoon, a rattler is on the move and hungry. In these Northern California grasslands, ground squirrel is one of the preferred prey. You wouldn't think that this would be much of a contest at all. Think again. It may look foolhardy, but the common ground squirrel has evolved superpower defenses to protect the colony at this moment of danger. The heart of the squirrel's strategy is deception, looking and behaving like something else. And why it works has everything to do with how its opponent sees the world. A distinguishing trait shared by a group of venomous vipers around the world is the heat-detecting organ located on the sides of their heads. They're known as the loreal pits, external openings to a pair of extremely sensitive heat registers that help the snake judge the location and the size of warm-blooded prey. Working like a pair of rudimentary eyes, heat pits enable a snake to discern something warmer by only 0.003 of a degree from the surrounding temperature. But somehow, the squirrels have learned all this. Or at least enough to know how to use the rattler's own heat detection against it. Faced with a rattlesnake, a squirrel begins frantically flicking its tail. This isn't panic. It's actually flooding the tail with blood, making it nearly as hot as the rest of its body to increase the size of its own heat profile. The snake is thrown on the defensive. Other squirrels join in, chirping out alarm calls to warn the rest of the colony. Adult squirrels can risk being quite bold. Even if they get bit, enzymes in their blood render the venom less toxic. The real danger is to the squirrel pups, still vulnerable to the rattler's venom. And the rattlers seem to know this, as they search the colony for entrances to burrows. The rattler is like a heat-seeking missile, headed straight for the den. This is a moment no parent wants to face. But it's the moment of truth. The mother squirrel goes into action to repel the invader. The snake is risking burial under the dirt. Finally, it retreats. In the long, drawn-out battle between predator and prey, offensive weapons often give rise to countermeasures. Rattlesnake and squirrel are in the midst of an evolutionary arms race, millions of years in the making. Yet every time these two come face to face, it comes down to survival. Not every grassland encounter is so one-on-one. Every so often, a herd stands together against a threat. Sometimes it takes an entire army responding as one at a moment's notice against an invader. With termites, the idea of a herd goes to a new level, forming super colonies capable of super-sized fortresses. Like castles that can rise over 6 meters in height, the termite mound creates a safe zone in the midst of the open grasslands. A humid microclimate sheltered from the drying effects of the African sun. Key to the health of the nest is engineering that captures wind to circulate air through the mound. The accommodations are extensive, but this is no paradise. Not when intruders drop by so frequently. It's not surprising that so many animals have evolved a taste for termite. They're abundant. Planet-wide, ants and termites make up 20% of animal life. And as a source of food, they contain more protein than steak. The real question is, how do the termites survive all the attention? They have a secret weapon, and she has superpowers. Buried deep below the mound is the termite queen. With her enormous pulsating body, she's laying an egg every 3 seconds, 30,000 in a day. She's also secreting a pheromone that stimulates her blind workers to catch her eggs like midwives and carry them to the nursery. Protecting the queen is the job of soldier termites. When a moment of invasion occurs, they are ready to defend the mound. And their enemies range from ants to ant-eating predators. It looks like a strange pine cone come to life. The scaly pangolin is rarely seen, emerging only at night and with a powerful appetite for termite. Hunting by smell, it's found a termite mound and digs in. But it really makes headway with one of nature's more bizarre utensils. The pangolin can extend a tongue 40 centimeters in length. And as it probes, it's covered in a sticky termite-catching slime. Soldier termites fight back, using razor-sharp jaws to bite and tear at the intruder. The invasion may have accounted for losses in the thousands. But with the queen's prodigious egg-making, that'll be made up in less than a day. She ensures that this underground herd will endure, relatively safe, for decades. Far different are conditions for prey animals on the open savanna. Often a place of vigilance, where constant attention in a heartbeat turns to adrenaline. Here, 3 lions have stolen a baby giraffe. The mother